guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Listen, okay, you can't even be mad at me. Like, Chanel wants to be talked about. I'm trying to ignore Chanel for a bit and give you guys some other brands on my channel so we can talk about other things we're gonna buy, Christmas and all of this, but Chanel refuses to go away and Chanel wants me to talk about her, and that's cool. So I wanted to talk about a few things today, so I hope today's video won't be too long. I hope it's not going to be too long for you guys, but the first thing that we need to talk about is some tea that is coming out from the Cruise 22C collection in terms of sales. So lots of people have been buying, many people have been saying, I'm sorry, Chanel are doing way too much. Many people have been saying that allegedly, if you're over your limit and you try and buy something from Cruise, the sale gets blocked, okay? The sale actually gets blocked. So what Chanel have done is basically this. They actually have obviously their own software, their own system, whatever, that can see if you're above your limits. So I'm going to go with the limits that I've heard about from North America, which is 1 bag per month, 1 SLG per month, I think, give or take. That's the current situation. If you're in Singapore, Australia, or Hong Kong, I would love to know what are the limits in your countries. Please let me know. But basically, one of my subscribers let me know that an influencer had posted on their stories that they actually were blocked from buying something from the Cruise collection, and they thought that they had been B-listed from Chanel. They were over their limit and they were not allowed to buy anything, and obviously the manager didn't make any, didn't change anything for them, so they couldn't buy anything and they had to stay within their limits. This was corroborated by a bunch of things that I also saw on Instagram and Facebook. Many people have been reporting that, hey, I tried to buy something from Cruise, I got blocked, okay, and I was not allowed to buy anything from the Cruise collection. And managers are not going to override it. So this kind of gave me this theory that I wanted to share with you. Of course, it's in line with what we said before about ready-to-wear and fine jewelry. I really do think at this point, if you are someone who loves this brand, if you have the funds and you enjoy shopping at this brand and you can afford to be a VIP, I feel like now is the best time to go and build that relationship, because it's so obvious that Chanel are really changing their commercial strategy, and they're really just aiming to serve people who are, very affluent and very wealthy and who can afford to do big spend. To be a VIP in Europe, you need to spend about 100,000 euros a year. Chanel doesn't really look at the sales of bags as whether you get to be a VIP or not. So for example, let's say that you spend 60,000 euros a year in the EU, you'll still really, even if you add an extra 40,000 to be a VIP there, they're not really going to see you as a VIP because most of your spend is in bags. Leather goods are not a priority for Chanel. They're not difficult for Chanel to sell because it really requires no effort on the part of the SA. The things that require effort on the part of the SA is basically what decides if you get to be a VIP or not. So for example, ready-to-wear, as we know, fine jewelry, haute couture, definitely if you buy something from haute couture or ready-to-wear or fine jewelry, you're going to, pretty much, they're going to invite you to private events, and maybe, you get invited to a catwalk show or something. When I heard that Chanel was blocking sales from the Cruise collection, I was like, listen, Chanel are about that life, okay? No one is playing with this brand. They are very, very serious right now. We know that for North America, it's about 12 bags a year, give or take, basically. If you're a VIP, can they override that for you? I think they're going to override it for VIPs who are haute couture clients, who are buying fine jewelry. And if you're a predominantly ready-to-wear client, I think that every now and then the manager can override it for you. I don't think it's going to be like every single season. I think it depends on your spend, like how much you're spending a year. I think VIP status in the US starts at 100,000 USD and it goes up. There are some people who spend 200K, 300K at Chanel USD, 400K, 500K. Imagine spending $500,000 a year at Chanel. At that level, you're going to get any single bag that you want. You're going to get as many of them as you want. But let's be clear, no one is spending that amount just buying bags. You really do have to buy haute couture, ready-to-wear, and fine jewelry. And you're probably buying all three of them together. There will be those people who just buy haute couture, and obviously they can get anything that they want as well. So I think that what this shows is that Chanel is really dedicated to their new commercial strategy. The fact that people on social media have already reported that managers are not going to override it for you because they're thinking about the type of customer that you are. Let's say you're someone who this year you just buy card holders, you just buy wallets, you just buy bags. And by the way, I'm not talking down to you if you do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you just buy those things, they are not going to override it for you at all, because they really want you to buy those other bits and pieces that we all know and love. I just think it's so like painful that, like in the case of that influencer, the influencer like wanted to go to pay for something and then they were cancelled, okay, at the till. I think that is just, I would be so humiliated, and I would be like, oh my gosh, I cannot come back to this boutique again. And I feel like Chanel, in a way, it's really interesting. Like, they want you to know your limits. They're not necessarily going to tell you, hey, you can't buy that. But I'm pretty sure if you were like, hey, I want to buy some jumpers from the Cruise 22C collection, there are going to be no limits for that. So I'd love to know what you guys think about all of this. I'm very, very keen to hear your opinions. Please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, especially Facebook. I'm very active on there. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, don't worry. Just save my Facebook page in your browser and bookmarks, and you'll keep up to date. I post there basically every single day, and we're having a good time on there. There are more of you who are on the page now, you're commenting and stuff, so it's really awesome. Make sure you keep watching. We have other things we need to talk about. Listen, you guys, I don't make up these dragging stories. They're literally on the internet. I've got another one for you, honey. Okay, it's from Chanel in Brussels. I can't put it up on the screen because the person wrote this on Google reviews, but they put the reference number for their handbag. Okay. I don't know why this person was really mad. So I feel like that's too much information to put on the screen. So I want to protect their privacy, even though it is on Chanel Brussels Google reviews page. But basically, let me give you a gist of what happened. So there was a client who made a purchase of a bag. They said it's a 4,000 euro bag. What does that sound like to me, honey? All of their bags are expensive at this point. And they said that they noticed that it was having defects basically after 8 months. So they go into Chanel Brussels and they're like, look, you know, this bag, you know, it needs to get repaired. And they're treated really, really badly by the employees in Chanel Brussels. So part of me was just kind of feeling like, look, are you being realistic though? You bought a bag, it's 4,000 euros, and after 8 months, you're coming to kind of like whinge and moan about it. I mean, what do we kind of think about this? I would love to know what you think. And I don't want you to be like, oh, you're being a Chanel apologist, you're defending them, quality this, quality that. I feel like at this point, Chanel is who she is, okay? She's a known quantity. She's like the bad boy basically of the luxury industry at this point. She does her own thing. James Dean, okay? Rebel without cause. I really just feel like Chanel does not care, and I just feel like, do you think that it's on us as clients or potential clients to kind of be aware of that? I mean, should this person really go into Chanel Brussels and be like, it's been 8 months, you need to like fix this defect on the handbag, or should they have sucked it up and just kind of dealt with it, or maybe have gone earlier? This is what I think. I don't think you can wait 8 months, okay? I think when you saw that there was an issue, I think you absolutely should have gone earlier and said, hey, look, I purchased this bag, you know, I did spend quite a bit of money on it, and you know, it has like this problem. So apparently in the review, the person was saying how they basically said that they had made the mistake and they had done something to the bag and the bag was fine or whatever, and the bag was completely fine, whatever, and they had done stuff to it. I found that really interesting because I feel like in a situation like that, you couldn't even really ask for your money back, to be fair, number one. And number two, you give the SA that kind of leeway, you know what I mean? To be like, no, you did something, because I'm sorry, but if that was me and you came in, okay, after 8 months, okay, and you're like, hey, there's this defect, I'd be like, go buy, you know you did that. I would love to know what you guys think about that story from Chanel Brussels. I know you guys are gonna be like, well, they should make better quality products and this and this and this. You cannot go 8 months later, okay, to complain about something on the bag. You should have gone ASAP in the beginning. You just allow Chanel to clap back, honey. And Chanel Brussels clapped back at the client and were like, You did that. We didn't. Okay, so that just had me so weak. I was reading the story. I was like, let me tell you guys about it. I would love to know what you think. Do you think that Chanel Brussels deserve to be dragged, or is the client wrong? I feel like the client is wrong. The client should have gone much earlier. I think it's really, really, really sneaky for people to buy something, wait months, and then come to whinge and moan about it. No, I think that's a little bit too much. Okay, you guys, and just super quick, because I'm going to forget, there is this unicorn, honey. She's coming in 22p. This is the So Black Chanel 19. I know some of you hate when us YouTubers, bloggers, people with a page say something is a unicorn. This is 1000% a unicorn. Everyone is talking about this bag on social media. If you're interested, you know what time it is. You need to start buying some ready to wear so that you can be on the list for this. This will be coming in 22p. 22p should be, I think, mid-January onwards. That's when we'll hear about when it's going to be in boutiques. Now, I wanted to tell you about something that I didn't mention on purpose in my previous Chanel video when I shared that link from CPP Luxury. So the president of Chanel Fashion, in that article, which is mentioned in my other video, he said that Virginie Viard did not go to the cruise catwalk show in Dubai because she was preparing for the Métier d'Art show, which, as we know, is always in December. And she was busy working on the Métier d'Art show, which I think is going to be shown on the 7th of December, the catwalk show. Now, I thought that was a really interesting tidbit, and I decided to not mention it because I thought if I mentioned it, we wouldn't focus on the whole price increase thing. Now I want us to discuss this. Let's talk about this, because Virginie's been compared to Karl Lagerfeld a lot at the moment. And the question is, like, are these comparisons fair? Are they not fair? So let's talk about it. I feel like had this been Karl Lagerfeld, he would have been in Dubai, you know? And I know it's kind of unfair to constantly compare her to Karl Lagerfeld, God rest him, but I do think it's relevant to mention this. I think that her, in my opinion, it seems to me that her job is safe, it's fine. She's making very safe commercial designs that Chanel clients like. She's sticking to the Lagerfeld blueprint. Frankly, that's the smart thing to do. You don't want to do anything too crazy. But has Virginie put numbers on the scoreboard in terms of like accessories and bags? Well, let's talk about it. Let's go through Karl Lagerfeld's original designs that he made. The Chanel Trendy, the Coco Handle, the Chanel Boy Bag. I believe that Gabrielle's one of his original designs too, correct me if I'm wrong. And one of my new favorites, the Chanel 19. What are her original designs? And designs being the key word here. At this point, we can just say the mini with the top handle. That's her design. Now, even then, it's like a top handle on an existing design, which is already profitable. Is that an original design? Some people say no. I'm going to give Virginie this one, okay, so she can have a goal here. I'm going to be like, okay, that's her original design. My kind of feeling on Virginie is as follows, and I'm very conflicted. I think that this is a house that was founded by a woman. I think it's great to have a woman designer. I think that's exciting, fun, and energizing. However, after Karl Lagerfeld passed away, I realized as someone who is a fan of this house, I like this brand, I realized like just how much of an impact that Karl Lagerfeld, as one person, okay, had on this brand. I know some of you are going to be like, they have design teams, they don't design everything themselves. At the end of the day, Karl Lagerfeld, Virginie, Virgil Abloh, Nicolas Ghesquière, they're the ones who carry that cross on their back if the collection fails, honey, okay? If that collection is a flop and no one is buying that, people are going to be looking at Virgil, looking at Nicolas, looking at Karl, looking at Virginie like, what happened? They're not going to be looking at the other designers. So they get to take the credit when things go great, and they have a target on their back if things aren't going well. I feel like, in terms of her, I feel like it's the Karl Lagerfeld shadow. It's like the shadow Birkin. It's just this shadow lurking around, and it's almost impossible for her to escape it. I feel like the way she could have escaped it is to create a lot of new, unique designs, particularly in accessories, because that's what people remember. People don't necessarily remember catwalk looks like the ready-to-wear or the haute couture, but people remember bags. People do remember SLGs and things like that. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like we haven't really seen that much from her. If you put the mini to the with the top handle to the side from her. By the way, I love that bag. I think it's really, really nice. So, and something else, I think it was just so strange for her not to be at the cruise show. I still feel like Karl Lagerfeld would have been there, and not everyone can have a Karl Lagerfeld kind of work ethic. I feel like Kim Jones has that. He, works at Dior and he's at Fendi. Karl was at Fendi and he was at Chanel. Not everyone can have that kind of insane work ethic, and I'm not saying that she doesn't, because I do like her. And I'm not saying that every single person has to be like a Karl Lagerfeld or has to be like Olivier Rousteing. Not everyone can have that really public media face, which, by the way, I think is brilliant. And I love those designers who love doing documentaries, who love doing interviews, who are speaking, hey, Karl Lagerfeld could speak Italian, could speak English, could speak French, he could speak his native German, He was doing many things. He was a polyglot. Not many people can do that. And it's okay if you can't do that. But I do think that, like, for example, with Margiela, for example. I mean, does anyone know what Martin Margiela looks like? Okay. It's a really cool brand, but it's a niche brand, so they can do things like that where no one really knows what the founder of the house looks like. Obviously, Galliano is there at the moment. But with a brand like Chanel, like a massive mainstream luxury brand, people need to know you. People need to know the designer. People want documentaries. People want Instagram TV stories or whatever, or Instagram stories. People really want to know the designer and connect with them. And we can discuss whether that's right or wrong, but that's the reality of the world that we live in today. And I want to be clear, because I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's not great, okay? You have to be to compete at that level. This is a massive company. But I'm saying, is she the right person in terms of the face and all the media stuff that Lagerfeld was so great at? Because I must say, like, after he passed on, I felt like Chanel just kind of, Chanel's popping, Chanel's always popping, honey, but I felt like Chanel just kind of became quiet. Like, when he was alive, he was doing interviews and documentaries, and he's speaking to anyone who will listen. And he's got those quotes, I have a master's in magazine journalism. Karl Lagerfeld is the type of person journalists love, because he's got quotes, he had quotes all the time. Virginie's quite private, and that's fine, but does that work for today? For a major brand? Don't forget, you have Louis Vuitton. I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, Virgil and Nicola, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're like Olivier Rousteing in terms of being very out there, but they, definitely Virgil, he's on social media, they talk about their catwalk shows, they talk about what inspires them and all of this. I don't know, I'm just super curious to know what you think. I understand that everyone can't be a Karl Lagerfeld, everyone can't be an Olivier Rousteing in terms of the media stuff, but I must say, I do think the media stuff really helps to get people excited and energized, and I do think it helps to introduce new people to the brand. I'd love to know what you kind of think about that. I thought it was just super interesting to me that she wasn't at the cruise catwalk show. I thought that was very strange, because let's be clear, like, if Karl Lagerfeld was there, Karl Lagerfeld would have been on the catwalk, okay, at the end, he would have been there. God rest him. I know a lot of you have expressed to me privately and in comments that you feel like maybe Virginie's just not the right person for the brand. I don't know. I think Virginie deserves a few more seasons to show us what she's got. And by seasons, I mean years with a Z, honey, because you know that Chanel, I think if we include haute couture, Chanel does about 10 collections every single year. I think Virginie deserves a few more years so that we can see what's popping. But is Virginie going to be at Chanel for as long as Karl was? I don't know. We don't know. Let's see what's happening. At the end of the day, this is a business with a capital B. Her designs are selling. The president of Chanel Fashion said that they're going to do double-digit revenue growth for 2021. So her designs are selling, okay? But are they selling because she's sticking to the Karl Lagerfeld blueprint, or are they selling because it's her original kind of vision of the brand? A few of you sent me pictures of like the new dust bags. I think that they've taken something out, like Karl Lagerfeld's signature or something. So one of you was telling me that they've made changes. Is Gabrielle Bonner Chanel's face on the dust bags anymore, or has that also been taken off? If that has also been taken off, maybe that's kind of her way. I don't know about that. Can someone confirm if Gabrielle Coco Chanel's face is still on the dust bags? Because when I have watched unboxings, particularly from the UK, Gabrielle Coco Chanel's, a drawing of her face is on there, but I don't know if it's still on there or not. I was sent a photo by one of you and I didn't see the picture, like, well, the drawing on there. So I'd love to know. Let's just see if all of that's correct. If those rumors are true that they have changed the dust bags and it just says Chanel on it. That could be Virginie's way of kind of staking her claim. I don't know. I feel like fashion needs to be explained. I don't think we can live in this world anymore where designers just do a catwalk show and don't do interviews, don't do media, don't do documentaries, don't talk to clients. I feel like we need to do that, and I feel like Lagerfeld understood that very well. I feel like Olivia Ristan understands that. I think Kim Jones understands that. I think Alessandro at Gucci, he's brilliant at that. He will do interviews, he talks, he explains, like, you know, his vision and all of this. What do we think? Do we think Virginie needs to do more of that? Yes or no? You guys, if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm having such a great time with you guys. Chanel is keeping a lot of us in the luxury, like, blogging community very busy, honey, okay? Because Chanel is busy. So as I've told you now, you got Message the catwalk show coming out. So you know what time it is. You know when it goes out, and when the pictures come out, I will cover it. As usual, thank you so much for supporting me. I beg of thee, please go on my social media pages, my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok. I'm very active on there. There's a lot of shenanigans going on with the algorithm of this platform. I would love to see you guys on my other social platforms so we can talk about luxury and shopping on there as well. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.